Hello and welcome to this edition of Mark's Grand Valley Plus. It's been a while since we've last met. The layout has undergone quite a few changes, one of which is very significant and we'll cover later. First of all, one of the changes, and I'm not going to point up so you can see it, but you might be able to tell, is I added a lot more lighting to the layout. Makes it a lot easier to see what's going on, get more detail in photos and video and stuff like that. So that's a big help. Another change I made was to this road down here where you can see where it's a little bit darker there. But that road used to curve and then curve back and go over the tracks where the BN freight car is right now. I always hated the way that looked. Just didn't know what I could do about it. And I used to have a ramp coming off of that going down into the parking garage over here in the back of the hotel. But I got rid of that. This ramp over here coming down to the church parking lot is a lot longer now than it used to be. But all in all, I really like it. Looks a lot better, and it's going to help when I add some railroad crossing lightings as well to make that happen. As you can see, when I got rid of that ramp, I sort of put in a retaining wall to hold back the new wall, and instead of going up into the road coming out of the hotel parking garage, you turn their way and go into the side road and then come back out onto the main road. So that was big, and I really like that. Next big change is I did a lot of detail work to the wall there between the two portals in the mountain. Didn't like the way that looked. Reshaped a lot of the top of that. Did a lot of work. Hopefully soon I'll be putting in my water and my waterfall to give that a good look. That's another thing that will add. The third thing that's new over here is I put in a wall to keep the children safe from these houses in the neighborhood up here. Just seemed kind of ridiculous to have that just be going down, sloping down to the railroad track. So I put that in. I actually made that from small popsicle sticks, stained it. We put in some posts, put in bushes back there against it. Looks pretty good. Looks more natural than, like I said, just having a cliff / slope right onto the tracks coming from the back of the house has really made no sense. Another thing I did here is I attached these wheels / casters to a series of the legs here. There's two here on these legs. You can see a couple more on these legs here, and then 4 legs across the back. Basically, you just step on these things. I'm not going to do it now, and it will push the wheel in and up and lift the table up about, I think it was 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch off the ground, so I can move the entire layout. Got to do it carefully and slowly, but it's way better than trying to drag it. And besides, I'm going to be needing to get to the backs where the 2 walls are at, because I'm going to be putting some scenic backgrounds back there. So I did need to be able to do that as well. The next thing I got going on here, as you can see, I mounted some green and red lights in the back of 2 of my cabooses. In the one Caboose. You can see there they're flashing off and on. The reason they're different is the Caboose on the left has a lighted board in there from NCE. I got 3 of those boards for, I don't know, $25, $26, $27. I don't remember exactly. It was because it was quite a few weeks ago. And basically what it is it's a decoder that allows you to put lighting inside of your Caboose, program the decoder, and then control the function of the lights. They could be steady on, they can be flashing. They can do quite 15 different things, if I remember correctly. Plus there's a white light inside already attached to it. The Caboose on the right, I purchased these 3 boards on Amazon for $10.60, if I remember correctly. The boards I got from Amazon has a resistor on it built in. It has a capacitor built in. And that capacitor, of course, helps to keep the lights steady instead of flickering in case you're moving over dirty track, stuff like that. The lighted board, I actually had to add capacitors to that as well for the same reason. Because otherwise, you know, as the track's moving, it doesn't make perfect contact with the track at all times and the lights will flicker. Well, the capacitor gets its energy from the track once you start it up. It fills up and it acts like a battery, and then slowly drains over time. But it keeps the lights on steady, which is great, which is what you want. In both of these Cabooses, what I did is I have a set of wheels that I got from Katie, and they have a wire coming off of the left wheel and a wire coming off of the right wheel. So you're picking up power from both rails, and then you solder that to the board, and that gives you your power. And then I have these little tiny LED lights that I purchased again on Amazon. I got 125 lights, 25 red, 25 green, 25 blue, 25 yellow, and 25 white for $30. And which I thought was great. And that's what I used to light these up. I am going to, since I still have 2 other boards left from the ones I got from Amazon, which worked a lot easier for me, easy to solder. They have wires coming off of them, so I don't actually have to solder onto the board. But that will allow me to add to 2 more of my Cabooses. So here, I want to give you a detailed close-up as best I can of the board, one of the 3 boards that I got from Amazon. The 2 red wires you see, that is what you connect to your power coming in. The red and black are the positive and the negative of the DC out that you would hook up to your lights. I did have to put a 600 ohm resistor onto the lights that I put into the back of that Caboose we saw, because the NCE power cap system has 13.5 volts, and the lights I use, they are only run off of 3 volts, so you have to cut back the power that's coming to them, or they just blow out. So that's basically the small things that I actually did to the layout here, that I'm happy with and moving forward. Now for the real big change that I made to the layout, we're going to swing over here to my yard area. First we'll go to this area. As you can see here, I've finally got rid of all my pink foam, scenic the area, ballasted the track, got all that done. A lot of work, but I'm really liking the way that it came out. As I swing to the left here around the curve, you're going to see that over here I put in a road that comes into the area of the yard. So workers, that got to work in the yard have a way to get in. And right up against the road, we'll pause on what's going on in the yard. But this is a brand new locomotive that I got. This is a Santa Fe bicentennial locomotive. Back in 1975, Santa Fe decided that they were going to take 4 of their locomotives and paint them in this scheme for the bicentennial. I actually ordered this thing online in March of last year and didn't get it until about 3 weeks ago. Thing runs like a charm. It's an Athearn Genesis, but it runs like a charm. And just wanted everybody to see that. For some reason, I remember the bicentennial very well, so I just thought it would be cool to have something on the layout from, because this is about the time frame that's in my layout anyways. So, and it's, it's a Santa Fe, so seemed to fit in well. Let's back up here and show you some more. As you can see, I have a road. Then when you come in, goes off to the yard area. I put in a parking pad here. There is going to be a fence that goes around that. Now that I've finished leaning over all this area to do what I've done. So hopefully that might be done in the next video. And then here's where the big change is. So I tore out a lot of the yard because I was able to get my hands onto a turntable for a very good price. And I thought, boy, I needed to figure out how to get that in. I'm going to add some video to the end of this main video that shows the decision making I went through and what this area looked like before and then how I plan to do this. But I got the turntable and then I got the roundhouse, and the roundhouse is really cool because it's a snap fit. It means you don't have to glue any of this to put it together. And for instance, I can just lift the roof off and you can see the track and the locomotive that's inside there. You will notice that the doors, they swing both ways, so it's easy to get the locomotive in there and for him to come out. I love this thing. No pun intended, but it was a snap to put it together. It really didn't take me very long. Came out real nice. The only thing I regret is, and there wasn't, I really didn't have much of a choice, is that I had to put it on the side that I did because of how the track and everything already was. I did not want to tear up the main in any way, shape, or form and try to reform all that. It was bad enough just doing this. It took me weeks and weeks to get this in and get it all working and stuff. But you can see what it looks like. It really would have looked cool if this could have been on the other side and we would see this side from the main shot. But I can live with it. I mean, I love having it. It just adds a whole new dimension to the layout. There's a train yard, a place to store locomotives, a place to work on locomotives, trying to be as real as possible. So, yeah, this was fun. It was fun figuring it all out. As you can see, I did some work over here, added a small abutment over here, but yeah, we're happy with this. Everything's still running great. The trains did not run for a long time as I was working all of this. At least in this area, I really couldn't run this area. I would just run the trains periodically on the main Grand Valley part of the layout. But one real quick look again here, at everything I've done. This is what I've been working on. And hope you like it. So here is a quick video of my current train yard. I'm taking this video because I am about to embark on tearing a lot of that out and replacing it with a turntable. I was able to come into being of a turntable at a really great deal, and though I hate losing some of the space, I figured a turntable in here would look really cool. Hopefully eventually I'll get a roundhouse for some of the bays, but at least to have a service area for the locomotives and a place to store some other stuff. All right, so this is my first take on putting down the turntable. The spurs on the right, if I get a roundhouse, will go in that section where you see all the locomotives sitting right now. I left the one spur completely in, didn't bother that one at all. This spur I shortened up, obviously, because it would run in, but at least I was able to save some of that and can load the cars in there, because as you can see, it's got a spot for loading the car for loading and unloading. Sorry about my finger there. But yeah, I'm going to work that area to make it look like a road's coming in there, but said slowly but surely. None of this is powered yet. I have to you power this off of track 4 on here, and not wanting to mess with the integrity of the turntable itself, I'm stuck a small little piece on there that I'm going to attach power wires to that and then obviously hook it up to track 4 there, because track 4 needs the power from this system to power the track inside of here. It doesn't run off of here, it runs off of there. So we're going to take care of that. And then this is the power supply for the turntable itself. Again, it doesn't run off of the track power. The turntable itself has its own power. Like I said, that little stub piece there, we're going to solder some wires to that, run it down to the bus, and that, as I said, powers that track there. So I think it's going to work okay. And there you have it. 4 locomotives running all at the same time. I've been doing this for the last 20 minutes. Haven't had to do anything. Really happy after all the work that I did, that all of this is running so well. 1, 2, 3, And pretty soon, we'll see number 4. There it is. You gotta love it. This is what it's all about. Having the trains run, not having to worry about them. We'll say goodnight.